الله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Muhammad Ibrahim. Welcome in Learn the Qur'an with Understanding in Easy Way. We will memorize Surah Al-Ikhlas in 5 steps. 5 steps of memorizing the Qur'an. Introduction. Learn Tajweed. Understand the Qur'an. Memorization with map and repetition. Lesson from Surah Al-Ikhlas. Let's start from the introduction. This is chapter 112. Its total verses are 4. Its topic is the purity. This surah is about Tawheed, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When the people of Mecca were worshipping gods made of different materials, Christians claimed to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they associated with him a son, Isa alayhi salam, and a wife, Maryam alayhi salam. Na'udhu billah. The Jews claimed to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but associated with him a son, Uzair alayhi salam. Na'udhu billah. Some were used to say that angels were Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's daughter. Na'udhu billah. That time, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam invited the people to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who has no associate. The people of Mecca had some questions and wanted to know what was his Lord like, to whose worship and service he was calling them. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this Surah Al-Ikhlas and destroyed all polytheistic concepts. Now let's learn Surah Al-Ikhlas with Tajweed. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul huwallahu ahad. Qul. The qaf sound is heavy. We will learn about heaviness of letters and their articulation points. There are 7 letters. When and how to apply them in your recitation. Let your tongue do all the work while you pronounce. Fa, Za, Ain, Qaf, Kha, Sad, Zad. They are always heavy and the sound is unique. It is full feeling in your mouth and the back of your tongue must be raised. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ. Now, Lam and Ra with Fatha and Dhamma, they will be pronounced heavy, but with the Kasra, they will be pronounced light. All the letters which are highlighted in green are heavy letters, but all the letters in blue, they are qalqala letters. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ. Sad is also a heavy letter. لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Now let's understand Surah Al-Ikhlas. Qul, say, Wallah, He is Allah, who Ahad, the one. قل هو الله أحد. Say, Allah is the one. He is Allah, who is only one. One who does not have any partner, son, or any association or family. In the early time of Islam, when someone accepted Islam and denied the polytheistic concepts, the people of Mecca tortured the believers. Umayyah bin Khalf, the master of Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu, made him lay down on burning sand and placed a heavy stone on his chest. Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu used to cry, Ahad, Ahad. This word was derived from the surah. After revelation of this surah, one of the believers, Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu, was actually denying the concept of shirk and kept saying Ahad, Ahad. That's why Umayyah bin Khalf tortured him. Allah Samad. Allah Samad. Who is Allah? Remember, Allah is above the heavens. He is all powerful, creator, and sustainer of this whole universe. Only the one who deserves to be worshipped. Samad, lots of meanings. It means eternal, but actual meanings are الذي يسبض إليه كل شيء. Everything is depending on him, and nothing can take action back and forward except his permission. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not require for anything. لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم. Even he does not need to rest. Lam, neither. Yalid, he begets. Walam, nor. Yulad, he is born. Lam yalid walam yulad, he is neither begets or is born. There is no beginning of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there is no ending of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not birth anyone, neither anyone gave birth to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is eternal. He is by himself. No one is associated with him. Now that tells that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is immortal. All Christians and Jews who claim to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they associate a family with him, that is wrong concept. Walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Walam yakul lahu. Nor there is lahu to him, kufuwan ahad, any equivalent. Walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. No one is equivalent to him. Now let's start memorization with map. This surah has two parts. In the first part, there are two verses, which are the answer of the question of disbelievers, atheists, and polytheistics. Who is your Lord? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our Lord. Answer is Huwa. Emphasis the next two words. Indeed, He is Allah the One, Ahad and Samad. The name Allah comes from Ilah, means the one who is worthy to be worshipped. Another meaning is the one whom we turn for to our needs. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ. Say Allah is one, unique and perfect. Allah is Ahad and Samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ahad and Samad. He is not Yalid and Yulad. In the second part of this surah, this is a negation of any association or family of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The first part is about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. He is Allah, who is Ahad and Samad. Allah is only one, no companion of him, and he is sustaining his makhluk, creations. The second part is about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. He has no son, no daughter, and he is not a father of anyone. There is no second of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and no companion of Allah. In the wrap-up verse, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. Huwa is the pronoun of ilah. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. None is to be equivalent and similar to him. Memorization with repetition. Now I will recite each verse once and you will repeat it at least 3 times after me. There are 2 parts. In the first part, it is about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. And in the second part, it is about what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ahad and Samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. Walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. He is not Yalid and Yulad. Neither anyone is equivalent to him. Now I will recite the whole surah. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. Lesson from Surah Al-Ikhlas and benefits of reciting Surah Al-Ikhlas. The virtues of this surah are many. One of them is the reciting of this surah is equivalent to 1/3 of Qur'an in blessing. It's a famous narration in Sahih Bukhari that a Sahabi was reciting Surah Al-Ikhlas between the Surah Fatiha and the longer surah in every single rak'ah of Salah. People got irritated and then asked, "Why are you doing this?" He didn't want to tell them. People complained to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Go back and ask him, why is he doing this? Tell him that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam wants to know." So the man said, لأنها تصف الرحمن وأحب الأقرب أصفه. Because this surah, it describes Ar-Rahman, and I love to read the descriptions of Rahman. When Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam heard this, he said, "Go back and tell him his hub of this surah has caused him to enter Jannah." Subhanallah. Allahumma ja'alna min al-muqarrabin. اللهم فكحنا في الدين آمين يا رب العالمين.